Alright, so I didn't really think I'd hit 250 subscribers. And here I am, 250 subscribers. When I found out you needed 500 subscribers to like set up like financial money little things with YouTube, not that I thought I'm setting up for or anything. It's just there. But when I found out, I was like, damn, that's gonna take forever. So let me see when I hit 250, and that will be my goal. I don't really set any other goals other than the regular goals of just being myself. But here I am, 250. So I think I hit 251 actually. I about blew my top when I found out because I was just celebrating 250. But anyway, that's a side note. What I really wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna make a guitar video a little bit later today or tomorrow. It's been a little bit, but my life has been slightly disheveled, but for a good reason. One of the main ones is I haven't smoked weed in like 4 or 5 days now or something like that, which is what I needed. I needed some balance. Anyway, what I really wanted to talk about is pretty much my whole life, especially when I look back with hindsight. I'm just living and people are nice to me and then they're not. Or they're nice to me and then all of a sudden I see they're playing little games or something, things that I don't do. Maybe they want me to do them too, or they're not even thinking about that. They're just reacting, responding through their own habits. Or they're playing games and they want me to play them too, or they expect me to play them. I'm not about that. I don't want to play little games. I don't want to do small little things to fuck with people. It's like, how's that fun? Even if it's like, if trivial things that don't even matter. Like, I don't know, it could be like two people who are friends just fucking with each other. That's different or whatever, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm about just little small things. How's that fun? That's not fun for me. I don't want to fuck with anybody. And anyway, no matter how small or how serious, it is never what I'm going to get behind. So if you're doing that to me, you're going to find like an emptiness. Like, I'm not going to retaliate. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to thank you, either to your face or not, that you're showing me kind of what kind of person you are. So because sometimes, even though I'm getting used to how much intuition I actually have and my emotions and everything, I'm getting really good at telling what kind of people I need to be around without even seeing anything, or they'll just be around me because of my frequency. But you also, you'll, depending on what kind of life you've had and what kind of momentum and what kind of thoughts you've been thinking, you'll still attract the same things that you've been attracting, even if you didn't know it, and now you know it. So I just see it a lot clearly. Like, people will be nice to me. They'll treat me like someone they never met before, giving me the benefit of the doubt, like I do of all people. And then all of a sudden, a day and a week and a month, and now they're all playing little games or doing this, little that, and I'm still the same person. I don't care. What other people think about me is none of my business. I got all these good beliefs in me in the last 10 years to really help me out with that kind of thing. It's just, I don't know. It's what it is, or what it seems to be now, is that you're trying to move up naturally. You're just moving up. You're growing as a human. You're figuring out who you are, and a lot of people are doing this, and you're just getting better and better. And I don't know. It's like people don't want to see it or something. There's nothing they can do about it. It's like what's going to happen is they're going to keep themselves in the same little world they've always been, and then they're going to have to watch you leave it, and then they'll have to watch it from an outside perspective. It's like, oh, he really wasn't a person who was playing these games. He really wasn't. He was not that person. Either someone told them a false narrative about you, or they made up their own mind depending on their own life experience, which is what happens to everyone. It happens to me. If I get fucked over enough subtly in small ways through whoever since I've been born, then when I meet people, I might perceive that to be there where it's not there. Like, maybe they'll do something because the universe is going to give you what you believe that is not that, but from my perspective will be viewed as that, and the universe is like, well, he believes this, so we'll spin it this way, and it's going to look like this person's fucking with him too, even if they're not. You're going to perceive it because that's what you start to believe. So it's like I'm in a transition phase of knowing who I am knowing just who I am. And so all those false little things like that, those perspective shifts that aren't quite there but are tinged enough that you could take it the way that you would normally take it. Does that make sense? They start falling away. And it's like the universe keeps handing you it again, slightly smaller. Like, hey, are you gonna react this way, or is this really who you are? Here, take this. I'm putting my hand out. You can't tell. Take this, and you don't anymore. So each time you don't, the momentum behind that aspect, whatever it is, gets smaller and smaller and smaller, until you're free, and then people have to see, or they might not have to see. They're doing the same thing you are. They have life experiences that they've been doing since they've been young, and they're perceiving you through that filter. And you might not be who you know, or it could be the opposite. You could be this evil person, right? And they have life experiences where all people are good and they've always been treated nice. So when you're around that person, you're nicer for some reason, or things just happen to where it shows makes you look like a beautiful person, and you're not. It could go the opposite way. So really, I'm just going off on a super tangent here. Not really explaining anything. But, blank slate. You want to get yourself to a blank slate, You can really figure out where you stand, who you are, what other people may not be doing. That reminds me where this started. I just wanted to talk about, people I don't play those little games. And as soon as I catch it, no matter how slow, because people, they love those little games. They live for it or something. I don't know. Tell me, if you're one of those people and you're doing it, what's fun about it? Is it just that your life is kind of crappy, so this is just the grasp of what you are into at the moment, but everyone seems to do it. It has to be something different. Maybe there's a limit of where people figure out what's going on in the universe, and it's just that they can figure out, and so they all kind of get stopped off at the bus stop of subtle fuckery, one-upmanship, all this kind of stuff that just was never on my radar, and only is on my radar now in the last few years because I can really see it happening, and through other people talking about it, like Alan Watts and blah 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 blah. This is many years ago, and now I could just see it, and it's like, what's fun about it? That's never going to be me, guys. So, it could be anywhere. You could be at work, you could be do a drive-through, you could be on vacation, you could be anywhere, and there'll be someone that maybe you thought might have been, because I'm always in my head, not like that. I'm pretty blank slate up here a lot of times, so I can tell what energies are mine. But I do think, and I'll be like, maybe this person, could be a real friend, maybe. And I'm never jaded completely, I'm never a friend. No, I'm always like, maybe this. But they'll always do something at the last minute, They'll throw that Hail Mary touchdown where you're like, oh no, they're part of that group too, or oh no, they play that game too. And you might get a tinge of so much for that, being an authentic, real friendship. And of course everyone can change, but once you notice it, it's hard. You're going to have to move to another place or something. You're not going to trust them anymore. And so, you almost want to tell them to their face. And I almost told someone to their face. They probably thought I was going to say something mean to them, and I could have just said something mean to them. But I wasn't going to tell them. I was going to say thank you for showing me. Finally, give me that little push to see who you really are and what side you're on, because I was not sure, and I was going to let you into my life. What the fuck? So thank you. But, I shut up. I shut my mouth. I don't want to say that. I just that's that. So, I'm itching to play some guitar. It's been a while. And, for me anyway, it's been days, and the universe, I think, is trying to get me. I've been for a year and a half now, nonstop, multiple videos a day, just blasting it, full inspiration, full of weed, even sober, but just full inspiration and passion. And it's starting to slow down a little bit, but not really. So the universe had to force me and gave me lots of things I needed at once, like a break from weed, a break from certain people, not put in a certain spot where I couldn't play guitar because I couldn't stay where I wanted to stay. I didn't have electricity, just baking out there in the sun. But here I am at a place with some electricity again, and just 251 subscribers last I checked. I am so It's like I can't believe it. And, people are like, oh, 250. But you got to start from somewhere. And besides, I never went out to be. If you really been in my life from the beginning, I never really went out to be. It's like I didn't have the gold images in my eyes of, ooh, become an influencer. Yeah. Because then that's wrong. It's not wrong, but you got your horse behind the cart. You're doing it because you want to become an influencer and a bunch, and that's it. And so the meat and potatoes of the actual passion of the work is takes a seat behind just wanting to be that in that place, Where me, I came from the other way. My life has just been crazy. I've never ever, my whole life, in high school, about to graduate, I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? I have no idea. Everyone seems to know what they do. And little did I know at the time, no one knew what they do. Everyone's just trying to please their parents or do this or do that, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? I'm just living, and then I become an alcoholic, and it's not just my fault. It takes two to tango. It's just with friends and the environment and how I was raised, and your family and just everything. And I just work on fixing myself, and I got out of it, and then it just happened naturally, because I was so hardcore a realist, I was not spiritual at all, which is why I find it so hard to use the word God, even as I am now. I'm like, nah. But I gotta tell you, I've made a peace with myself. I'm like, I don't have that abrasion to using it anymore, and I cannot believe it. I told God the other day, like, look what you did. You actually got me. To use it, even though I'm not gonna. I still prefer to use the universe and everything like that because of the stigma on the word God and how everyone has different beliefs about it, and everyone's been fucked over about beliefs about it and tricked and blah. So I don't prefer to use it because of that. But before I got all wise, I didn't prefer to use it just because it was like, ugh, no, okay, why? I would never. Come on, man, I'm a realist. And then so just the other day, maybe like a week ago, I'm like looking at myself, I'm like, God damn it, God, you actually got me using the word God. You did it. You could do anything. If you got me to be like, nah, okay, I can use the word God if I want. I don't even give a shit. Although I still prefer not to. It's there now as a thing. I'm like, you did it. What the fuck? And that little thing is, even, because I know how adamant I was not using it. I'm like, you wore me down. And you showed me. And here I am talking about one of those people. Yeah. Because I grew so fast, so I can still tell that where I came from. And here I am, talking about one of those people I would have laughed at before. Talking about, you showed me miracles. And you showed me things happen for me in just the perfect way. Now, God, if you want me to use the word God, I will. Because you just showed me too much. Although, I know, they don't care. He don't care. She don't care what word I use. I think they just knew that was a sticking point for me. And if they could change that, it would really get me to kind of settle into the warm comfort of God or the universe. I still prefer moving image of eternity, infinite intelligence. I prefer, but it doesn't matter. Because the point is, they turned it on me, and I had to give it to them. I'd be like, hey, God, I got to give it to you. Look at me using the word God. You fucking did it. You fucking did it. So anyway, here I am. I don't play those fucking games, and I'll ghost people. I want to defend myself. I just know better. It's just like, you're not part of my experience anymore. I don't even want to. You don't exist, And what seems to happen, especially now, is maybe they'll figure out they were wrong, or they'll hang around the people who are spinning false narratives around you long enough to be like, wait a second. I've known this guy, because time did a lot. I've known this guy for 3 or 4 years, and he has never been like they said they were, maybe like once. But everyone has their bad days, right? In 3 or 4 years, he may have once been kind of like what they said. But it's been so long. I remember one time I came to work years ago, and I just had some altercation with my parents, and it was emotional, it was heavy, and I had to go right to work. I mean, I was a wreck, right? Just a wreck of emotion. And I had to pick up and go to work, right? And something happened at work with a guy, was subtly a little fucking with me. Well, normally I just be like, not really good. But he caught me at a thing where I was just so already emotionally distraught, right? Where I didn't blow up or anything, but I was a little more adamant about, like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm trying to do my job here, kind of thing, right? And they just took it and ran. I was like, that is who I am for my whole life, and I've ever been. I can tell. And they just used that and abused that. And I even told them, and here's me, I'm always the person to come back and apologize later. Like, look, man, that's not me. I even told him, I was like, I was having really emotional. And he was like, well, you don't bring that to work. I'm like, so I just don't talk to that person anymore. Because they were just fucking with me. That kind of stuff where like maybe you talk to someone and they ignore you, right? Or on purpose or something. And then spin it in a way to look like you. It was just something so small and stupid. But I was such an emotional wreck. I didn't even blow up or anything. I just was a little more than I would ever usually be. And they sure took that and ran with it. And they tried to paint it as me in my whole life. And so here I am at this place, noticing other people for years trying to get the same reaction out of me. And I told them that was just that day. I was just really in a bad place. And I only told them. I apologized to them and only told them. And thought it was like something between me and we were good. But no. They just took it and spun it. But years go by. And people who are smart have to realize either he is just the best liar in the world for 4 years, or this person was just, doing what people do, jealous, trying to make people see you as they are. Yeah, I notice it, because especially for me, when people say that confident people don't bring other people down, it's true. And now, before I became confident, I wouldn't agree with that. But now I'm confident, and I'm a different kind of person. I'm beautiful and all this stuff. I would never call someone else ugly. I would never bring anyone else down. And this is what real confident people are like this. It's true. And so you get these people fucking with you and doing all this stuff. They're really just kind of taking how they feel about themselves, and maybe not completely just that. It could be other ways it happens too, and then kind of put it onto you. They project it onto you. And they don't even know they're doing it, Maybe they do know they're doing it. I don't know. I'm just on a rant now. I really was just supposed to just slightly talk about how people subtly fuck with you and things. I'm like, why is that fun? And then go and do my music for my 250 subscriber celebration. But I ended up doing 5 laps around this circle instead of a half lap. And that's what happens. I just get on a little road talking. It all doesn't matter, in the end. I can tell I'm just growing so much, and the wiser you become and the smarter you become, none of this stuff really matters. And now I tend to I got something in my foot, like a rock or something, those nice cheap flip-flops. I get the urge to just splurge it all out, and I know it's because other people that need to hear this are going through the same type of stuff. Just they'll need to hear it, you know what I mean? It has to be what it's for, because that's how I was helped with the internet. I just happened to come across stuff I needed to hear from people, Oh, and back on that tangent, yeah, it was just naturally came about. I didn't want to be this spiritual teacher, blah, 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 blah. It's like, barf me, please, but here I am. It's like you can't help if you have your thing that you're supposed to be doing in this world that you came down here and do, and when you get on track with it, everything moves out of your way. And when you're not on track with it, it's a stepping stone or stepping stones to be on track with it, but you'll be lost for a little while. So I don't know, and I always come to I always get these urges of these little blossoming feelings of compassion for everybody, feelings of love. I'm like, there it goes. Even for all the, because it might sound belittling, but they don't know what they're doing. You come up with someone and you can tell, and now my intuition is just heightening. I can just tell, they're one of those types. They're in the fuckery games. They're in the, smile and act nice around other people, but so kind of subtly fuck around with you also at the same time. And like, I've been wondering how long for them to see that I'm not like that, and I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't know, it's weird, but I think that this means you're about to move. And I don't mean physically move. I guess it could be, but that's not what I mean. But you're moving into a different transition, a different vibratory state, and a stableness in it. And you're rocking the boat, and all the little peons of the old vibratory state where you used to reside are like up in arms, right? It's not technically what's really happening, but it's like that. And it's just like, yeah, they don't want you to make these waves, even though you're just healing yourself. You're just healing yourself. That's all you're doing. You're just trying to, we all get born into this world under a certain amount of parents in a certain locality in the world. You get born in the USA, in the UK, in Africa, in China. And everyone it's weird because everyone really is exactly the same. We're all human. But depending on where we come up in our culture, we're really different. But really, you peel all that back, we're really exactly the same. And you can tell that with the internet these days. No matter where we are, we're always sharing videos, and everyone likes the same stuff, and everyone, for the most part, has the same sense of humor. The internet's really showing us that we're all the same. It's really subversive for anyone who's been trying to segregate us for power. So, as Terrence McKenna said, whoever let the internet fall into everyone's usage really fucked up for good. Because not only is it showing that we are really one for anyone to see, you just look at, we really are. God, the universe, God universe, now I see why people say that, infinite intelligence, they really got their hands in the internet. I mean, it's electricity and energy and shit, they're really in there. They'll give you the videos you need to see, they can really get in there good. If you have some sense of reality where they almost can't get into your reality, they'll get in the internet and help you out easily. So the internet was a golden child that came, that really helped us all. It's like we didn't have the connectivity that we really needed, that was always really there naturally. We just kind of got off on the wrong track for long enough momentum that we lost that, but we built it ourselves with the internet. It's like we'll do it ourselves, like kind of a hard way instead of the natural ether kind of way. Now we're gonna just do it ourselves, but it worked out, and it's helping us. So whoever let that break free for the rest of humanity really fucked up. I'm sure the people who are trying, even if I always wrestle with this, people controlling the world, and there's just two companies, and they're just mass like farming regular humans who don't know, and all this kind of stuff. It's like, it could be that, and maybe yes that, but at the same time, everything that's happening is supposed to be happening for the betterment of everybody. So it's like we're going down, you're just in a certain window of frame in your life. You won't be there forever, and it has its reason. It's a stepping stone. And that can be locally in your life or as the whole world. So it's like, yeah, we have free will. Maybe we're being controlled through all this life, and humans, it's just getting ramrodded and pulled this way and pulled that way because they don't know who they really are. But you always have, but that state is the birthplace of figuring out who you really are. It's like propels you. So it's like it's needed. So it's like you can't even be mad, and then you can extrapolate that to the local stuff happening in your life. You can't be mad at the people who are acting like little bitches. They just don't know any better. I'm sure I've acted like a little bitch compared in someone else's life before. You know what I mean? You just, it's all there to help you out. It's all there for a reason. And this goes back to being like one of those God people. It's like, shoot me in the head and stomp my fucking guts out. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You got me talking like this. But, life experience is the greatest teacher. So, people who knew how I used to be and can tell that I am authentic of how I am now. And then there are people who knew me in the mid-transition phase. They can see, and they will start looking. And it's like I'm helping them. Like, hey, go this route. Look, you know how I used to be, and now look at me. And then if they see the way my life is turning out, even just like my body or my intelligence, they might. And then later on, other things they might like. They will be like, okay, he got me. I'm gonna look into it, and that's all it takes. Even if they look into it and be like, nah, it's not for me. I don't know how his life is doing this, but this is bullshit. And then they go off to separate ways for another 100 lifetimes. It's in there. That nugget is in there, and it will never go away.